Well, as you can see, I've managed to get 4 trains running on the new 2x4 foot N scale project layout. The wiring is not by any means done. I do have my NCE power cab hooked up, and that is controlling the switching area here on the middle level. However, I just have a couple of the Roku hand battery powered packs controlling the lower level tracks, and then one controlling the tram line here on the upper level. So eventually I'll have everything hooked up to controls on the front fascia, but I don't actually have everything I need on hand yet. I kind of forgot to order a bunch of stuff, and so I am waiting for parts to arrive so I can finish all the wiring on this layout project. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a preview here. Take a look at the 4 trains running so you can kind of get an idea of how everything is going to look once everything is sort of finished on this layout in terms of the operation. So again, with this layout design, I'll have 2 trains running on the lower level. I can run whatever I want, just have them loop around. There's no real operations going on there. It's just more for the visual interest of the trains going by and that kind of thing. Most of the layout operation happens here on this middle level. It's designed as sort of a switching layout where I have multiple industries to switch. I have an interchange track and that kind of thing. And so that will be where most of the operation happens. And then the upper level here will just be all structures. It'll be a dense urban area on this half of the layout. Actually, everything will be pretty urban. It's all going to be filled with structures. So there'll be a lot going on with this layout with all the trains running potentially at one time. So a lot to kind of watch just for having this run in the background as kind of visual interest. But again, one thing I really wanted with this layout was to be able to have trains running while I was doing the switching operation, since I really enjoy just watching trains run. So this way I kind of have the ability to have that relaxing, sound and motion with the trains running down here and the tram up there while I'm doing the switching operations on that middle level. So this kind of gives me best of both worlds. It's small, it's compact, but a lot can happen on it in terms of train operations, a lot moving on at one time. It gives me a chance to run more equipment at one time that I wouldn't normally run. I can have a passenger train going by on the lower level and that kind of thing. So different things I can do with this. So it should be a lot of fun to operate. In the next video in this series, I'll show you how I installed all the t-trak and did the initial wiring, how I have everything hooked up for the DCC here, as well as how I did my initial setup here with the DC power packs. But overall, again, I won't have my full wiring video for a few more weeks because I am waiting for some of the parts that I need so I can actually finish doing the wiring. I'm also working on the retaining walls. All the retaining walls were cut with the new laser cutter that I got. I had a video on that a couple of weeks ago. And so if you want to see how I did that, you can look at that laser cutter video. But I will have in another video showing how I do all the retaining walls. I'll have those on the upper levels as well. So everything will be laser cut. The tunnel portals are all just cut out of birch plywood. And I will actually layer these to look thicker and finish all of these to look like concrete. So anyway, a lot coming up here on the layout. I will have the video on finishing all the wiring, adding all the controls to the fascia, including the turnout controls, the controls for the DC operations as well. I'll have the ability to use either DC or DCC on any of these tracks. So that will make it pretty flexible in terms of what I'm able to run. And then it gets fun. I get to do all the structure builds. I get to do, scenery and that kind of work. So that will be the fun part of this build, is building all the structures. And I have a lot of structure kits I'll be working on for this layout. So that will be a lot of upcoming videos in the future later on this summer as I go through the building of all of those kits, get all the warehouses done, all the town structures done, some multi-level structures that will span the top and middle level as well. So it should be pretty interesting, I think, when all this is built out and done. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of the future videos as I work to complete this layout, hopefully by the end of the summer. But anyway, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Bye.